Here with Brian Robinson, pride of Youngstown, Ohio. We're going to be talking about Youngstown a lot here on this episode. But barbecue at the Big House, Brian, you made it back here to Michigan. Just what was this experience like for you?
It was wonderful. I had a great time today.
All right, so you've been to Michigan a couple of times before. How did this visit compare to the other ones that you've had? Was it any different today?
It wasn't no different. The atmosphere was still the same. Still a great atmosphere. Just the other kids getting recruited might have put the cherry on top. It was wonderful.
So what, if we were to put the whole day in a nutshell, and I were to ask you what stood out the most? Like, what was the thing, in an array of things that obviously made today impressive, what was the thing that stood out the most to you about today's experience?
Just the camaraderie with the kids. Us all knowing each other, hanging out, having fun, competing, going through drill work. Had a wonderful time.
All right, so a chance to work out in front of the coaches. I mean, what did you take from that experience? Because that's different, right? What did you take from that experience?
Got some new drills to work on.
Okay.
Back home, got my own bag, so I definitely be working on my craft. Got something to show my teammates.
What coaches did you work with the most today? I mean, there are a number of guys who have their hands on the D-line. Of course, Mike Elston, first and foremost.
Coach Elston, Coach Dillon, great guys. I was working with them today.
Okay.
Had a wonderful time.
So let's talk about the vibe with Coach Elston, your would-be position coach, for instance, if you were to choose Michigan. What do you think of Coach Elston? What's the vibe like with him?
Man, he's straightforward with you. He's straightforward. You break down film. He gonna show you what you need to work on. He gonna tell you what you need to work on, and he don't let you just go through a drill. He'll coach you through it. He gonna show you where your foot needs to be, hand placement. It's gonna come naturally. Just be smooth. He said you ain't gotta force everything. Just be smooth.
Okay. All right. So the coaching, it sounds like the coaching style you really took to today. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
All right. So as far as your area recruiter, I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about the Youngstown tie and Steve Clinkscale. So
yes, sir.
It seems like just the hometown vibe is there, but what's the vibe like? You tell me in your own words, what's the vibe like with Coach Clink?
Man, it's wonderful. He raised one street over from me. And you think, because hometown, he'll lighten up on me, but he only go harder. He ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing with me. He discipline. He don't care. He don't tell you what you can do. He tell you what you can't do.
Okay.
So, I mean, I love him for it.
Okay. All right. So you said this was a really memorable experience because you got a chance to connect with other recruits.
Yes, sir.
So what recruits would you say you vibed with the most today?
Man, I vibed the one Mason. He a class of 24. He committed to Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
He's committed already. It was another linebacker. I can't really recall his name.
Okay.
But he's a 24. It was great. A lot of 24s.
So let's talk about your game, Brian. Let's pretend I'm a coach or a scout in the stands and I'm watching Brian Robinson on the field. What do I see? Give me a scouting report.
You're gonna see a beast. You're gonna see a 6'5", 240 DN running around. I don't care if the ball 10 yards down the field, you're gonna see him. You're gonna see him in that backfield. You're gonna see him chasing from behind. You're gonna see a big 23.
Okay. All right. So, I'm sitting here and I'm watching. You got it on a Michigan shirt.
Yes, sir.
I assumed when you walked in that you got it today, but that's not true.
No, sir.
Your mom got it for you years ago. And you're what? You're 6'5" what now? 6'5", 240? You
Yes,
said?
sir.
So she clearly knew something. She clearly knew something ahead, right? Mom knew that you were gonna grow into this shirt. Sounds like.
Yes, sir.
So I mean, where does that come from? I mean, I ask this of every Ohio guy, but did you grow up liking Michigan or did you grow up liking the Buckeyes?
Man, Buckeyes got it. Let's be honest.
So have you worn this Michigan shirt to school? Cause I don't know, man.
Yes, sir. Yes,
really?
Sir. Yes, sir.
So what?
I mean, the recruiting process is different. Like, just watching kids do it and you doing it is a totally different vibe. It'll freak you out sometimes, but I mean, me and my pops have been on this journey, so.
Right. So I understand you put any allegiances, any fan allegiances to the side when you're going through the recruiting process. I get that. I'm talking about how people react to you when you wear Michigan stuff in Ohio. Like,
yeah.
how do they react when they see you walking around in a Michigan shirt?
Oh, you wearing Michigan? I said no.
Oh, Michigan.
Michigan. I'm wearing Michigan, not Michigan. I'm wearing Michigan. I said, say it right or don't say it at all. But with that, I also won MVP today.
Okay. All right. So guys like you know when you're doing well.
Yes, sir.
Did you know you were doing MVP well during the day?
I felt it. Just as long as you handle your business and you put your work in the off season and in season, you should know where you're going.
Okay. All right. So I mean, what did they have you do? Did they put you through like testing, like 40 vertical, any of that stuff, or was it strictly position drill work?
Mainly positional drill work.
Okay, I got you.
Yes, sir. This is my second time winning MVP too.
Okay, all right.
I won it at the big man camp, and I won it today.
All right, so let's fast forward, Brian, and pretend that you're at the point in your recruitment where you're getting ready to pick the school, whenever that is. When you do that, what are going to be the factors, like the most significant factors in that choice?
My dad's picking my school.
Okay,
I'm
all
not
right.
picking my school.
So tell me this
I'll
thing.
have a say, but end of the day, it's gonna be my dad making that decision.
Right. So when you talk to Dad, when Pop sort of lays out the criteria,
Yes, sir.
that the decision will be based on, what is he stressing to you? What is he saying, Brian? This is what's important. This is what we're looking for. What are those things?
Academics first. That's first. Being a great person in academics. He's football last. He care less about football.
Okay. So the academic piece, have you started to evaluate that aspect of all the schools that are on you yet?
Yes, sir.
And so when you say academics, that's kind of very broad. What specifically are you looking at? Academic rank? Do you have a specific major that you're looking to get into? Like
Mechanical engineering.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So have you started looking into that at Michigan yet?
A little bit. Yes, sir.
Okay. All
They
right.
number one right now.
Okay. All right. So what about this? What about timeline? Because you clearly have time to make a decision, but are you looking to get your decision out of the way before signing day your senior year? I mean, you have a timeline for when you like to make a choice?
Me and my father's still discussing that right now.
Okay.
But Michigan got the number one engineering program, and I mean, that's the major I like.
Okay. So let's talk about some other. I mean, what is Ohio State saying right now?
I still stay in touch with Coach Larry Johnson.
Okay.
We still text them, check up on them. I call them.
Okay.
They still coming.
Okay. Have you guys sort of settled on some top schools at this stage of your recruitment?
A little bit.
So, without getting specific, then, because I can see you looking at that. Without getting specific about who they are, would you say Michigan is one of them?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Do you have some other schools on the horizon that you know you're going to be visiting during the year? I mean, where do things sort of stand as far as visits are concerned?
I'm gonna definitely get out to some games with schools that are recruiting me. But right now, I'm just focused on my training.
Right.
I'm just grinding.
All right. So as we look ahead to the season, sort of give me the outlook for your team on a high school football field. How are you going to do? What do you see on the horizon for you individually and for your squad collectively this year?
Our team's looking good. We're looking real good. We got a crazy class of 24. We got some 23s. We got Jamel James, he a running back. DJ Williams, he a 24 like me, running back. We got Deshaun Vaughn, safety, playing quarterback this year for us. It's gonna be his first year on varsity, but he gonna be good. We got Davion Pritchard, cornerback at 24, 6 foot. We got Dan Evans, cat as fast as all outdoors.
Okay.
I mean, we put together.
Okay. And you said you're working on your training. I didn't even get into the specifics of where you are physically. We just talked about it in a roundabout way. But height, weight, 40, where are you at in that regard right now?
6'4.5", 240, run a 4.7.
Okay. So putting it together. Is there a player in college or the pros that people compare you to?
Probably Mike Parsons. Parsons.
Okay. Okay, so how comfortable do you feel? Because clearly you can come off the edge. You feel comfortable standing up, dropping it in the cover. You do any of that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So they put you through the pay. What do you think of Michigan's scheme? Did they sort of, kind of break down how you would fit in the scheme
Yes, sir.
while you were up
They
there?
had me as a hybrid.
So who did they compare you to in their scheme?
Jabo and Hutchinson.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, Brian, hey man, I'm looking forward to getting down to see you play this season. I guess the last thing that I would sort of ask you with regard to recruiting is when you sort of single out coaches. You talked about Larry Johnson. We talked about Klink. We talked about Coach Elston. What do you look for in a coach? What are you and your dad looking for in a coach that is sort of making those guys resonate with you? And are any other coaches that you would like to shout out that you are feeling like are really vibing with you right now?
Coach Menor, the defensive
Coordinator,
Coach Hardball, like all of them, they go act like a father.
Okay.
Like you their own son. They not sugarcoating, no coddling, no babying.
So that's the kind of coaching you like, then.
Zero tolerance.
Okay.
My dad raised me on the old school, so everybody say these new generations. I don't understand that language, so you're talking to the wrong kid. Just say.
Okay. So I know I said that was the last one. This is the last one. Who's coming at you? What schools are coming at you the hardest right now? That's different from asking you who's your favorite. I'm just asking you what schools at this stage of your recruitment, when you look around and you see who is on you really, really hard, who is very consistent, who is very persistent, what schools are recruiting you the hardest right now?
Man, all of them, really. All of them.
How many offers do you have?
I have 31.
And all 31 recruit you with the same vigor
Yes,
at this
sir.
point?
They coming.
That's what they do with big time guys. All right, well.
I'm blessed to be in this position.
I hear that. Well, Brian, appreciate your time, man. Good luck this season. We'll be down and check you out.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.